Okay, so I'm gonna say a number. I'm gonna think of a number, and whoever gets closest to the number gets to be the GM from now on.
All right.
69, dudes.
Any number?
Any number.
32.
70. Price is Right rules.
The number was the square root of 2, you fucking idiots. I'm the GM now.
Okay, no. Is that how that works?
That's how it works.
And Olivia, just for the audience at home, what's the square root of 2?
The square root of 2, I will probably say is, we're gonna go -3.
You actually
So
could have
close.
been right for the first half of that.
You went bigger. Welcome to the Fool's Chronicle Talkback, episode 5, where we talk back about episode 5. Who else just heard episode 5 on this podcast and just, like, it freaked their bean a little bit? Because I just was shocked that we have 5 episodes out that people can listen to.
It is kind of wild, actually, yeah.
I don't know, time's not real. I thought we had more.
Before we get into the show, my name is Sean Flowers. I'm your GM.
My name is Olivia Manning. I play Ivanka Dove.
My name is Dylan Manning. I play Mariah the Storm Cardera.
My name is Ren French. I play Orlin Wright.
And today, sadly, we're lacking a keys.
They died.
They died
really
to
bad.
death. Yeah.
Everyone salute.
Everyone salutes.
Listeners at home.
Everyone pour out a drink on the ground.
Keys got selected for the draft.
No. They're just scheduling errors and such.
They're not fit for war. We all know it.
They were destroyed in the Pod Wars of 85. War is hell.
War is hell.
But I did scrounge the wreckage of the battlefield, and I have their questions for us.
Which they had in their locket, like a trinket.
Yeah.
In their war locket.
Yeah. I received a message boy who came through my door, and he was like, sir, are you...
Master Flowers! Master Flowers, a message for you!
A carrier pigeon with singed feathers just like flopping in the air.
This was found in the Pod Wars, and they had a message for you. These questions.
No one survived, but hopefully they can live on.
Yeah.
So the questions are fine.
Yes.
The keys less so, but...
Keys is super, super dead.
Yeah. But we have the important ones. So, the first question was, this is the first time we get to see your characters, like, fail en masse. Not episode 5, but I feel like episode 4 going into it was just like
we were in
failure after failure,
deep,
and
place.
Then immediately this episode opens up with one of my favorite scenes, which is Lady Drake and you talking, where Lady Drake just toasts you all
fucking rips
so
into
hard.
us, it's so bad.
So, what was the emotions in that scene for the players?
It's crazy that that's one of your favorite scenes, because I was listening to that to do this, and I hate it. I hate that scene.
Yeah, and I was gonna throw up, so that's really cool.
Listening to it, not even playing through it, just like having to be reminded of it. I was like, this sucks.
We were a mistake.
The vibes
but here's
are
the thing.
off for me.
Here's the thing. We came back, and let me just say, on reflection, it is fucking insane how much I, as Ivanka Dove, pivoted from "it's so over," it's so terrible, we've gotta go, to like, we're so fucking back. It was such an immediate switch that I was like,
The
I
second
tell her
one
she has
thing,
a lovely home. It's like I immediately am like, let's go. Let's fucking go. For no
Ivanka Dove,
reason,
when
really.
a single thing goes correct, will immediately is like, "Yep, we're good,
Yeah,
we're
I'm
good,
like,
we're
I'm
back,
like,
we're back."
we're back.
A single thing goes wrong,
yeah.
we're done. Guys, cut it, end it. The gangs, we're done.
I'm sorry. You said I think you meant to say Olivia Manning.
Yeah, no, that's it's a reflection of my life.
Okay, my bad.
We're always teetering on "it's so over" and we're so fucking back at all times.
Speaking about that scene, the music in it was really good, so I think this is a great chance for Olivia's Music Corner.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Music Corner.
Now, Olivia, do you think it's funny that you just made up a Music Corner theme, yet you are our music person?
Well, here's the thing, is that actually none of you heard that, and maybe I should. Should I come up with a track?
That would be so goofy, actually. Okay, and I'll clip this and I'll give it to you so you can
I'll make some real music out of it.
some goofy
Jesus
music
Christ.
corner music. Yeah, it'll be our only piece that's not in, like, I don't know, the minor key.
Speaking of real music, I have this thing that I do for this podcast. Number one, it's write the music. Number two, it's that sometimes I write music that goes a little too hard for the situation that I've been given.
Yeah, there are some bangers in this one.
There's some bangers in this one that...
Ed 5 holds extreme bangers.
That are unnecessary. I create unnecessary bangers. And I think that's better than not having the necessary bangers.
Yeah.
Because I made this fun thing for when Orlin is fucking with the ghost field and kind of figuring out the...
It's the, it's when he's, breaking into the home. Not breaking into the home, but like,
trying. Scoping. He's scoping
the joint.
Yeah.
He's casing the joint.
And there's this, like... It's just the constant sort of, not an ostinato because it's not low. Yeah, and then it's got Orlin's theme, and I love getting to use Orlin's theme unadulterated because, usually I have to like change it into 6/8 or change, something about how it's orchestrated, and I love just being able to fucking get that straight Orlin theme because it's so like almost cowboy-ish in its. Just like, let's fucking go, partner. And it's maybe
my favorite theme.
It kicks ass, especially that fast. Cause it's supposed to be pretty slow, but it's also really fun when it's just fucking going. This old man, he's running. He's going, he's in it.
He should not be running.
He should not be running, he should not be climbing, but he is.
But he is. God bless his little soul.
Oh, also, the last thing that I have for this, when at very end, sort of the intro to the score, they're climbing the thing, there's a bird or whatever. Clever listeners may notice that I stole a part of this directly from the last words of David.
Whoa.
There's a thing there's a sort of common motif through the last words of David, which is by, I want to say, Randall Thompson, where it's sort of this very quick scale. It's like do 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 do, and I thought it was very cool, and I think that it's a really cool way to just like quickly modulate and just kind of quickly establish that like this is high octane. We are going crazy on this, and listen. Sometimes you steal stuff from Randall Thompson a little bit, and
as a treat.
Is he dead?
Oh,
I have no idea if he's dead.
Let me fact check it right now.
Hang on. Randall Thompson, age, dead? Question mark? Sad
American
face?
Composer. No, he's super dead. Like, we missed it.
Super crazy dead. Well,
oh my god, we missed it by a lot of years.
Well, rip to that guy, but I'm stealing his shit.
Yeah, rip to him for 40 years,
Damn.
but...
Damn. Well... Rip to that guy.
You live on in our podcast.
Yay!
And isn't that what everyone wants?
That's what every composer. Mozart, in his little Catboy suit, was like, "Is Mozart the Catboy?" He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna get this on a podcast."
on a mediocre
fantasy TTRPG podcast. That's the dream.
Yeah, that's the dream.
The operas are nothing. The arias are nothing. Podcasting is where it's at. And then they burned him at the stake for being a witch because he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
Yeah, but this many years later, we're like, for you, Catboy Mozart, a little treat.
We will put a little bit.
Do you think Catboy Mozart's gonna have to be in the description of this episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's okay.
Can we talk about the test really quick? This our intro. I feel like we haven't done intro music for an intro that wasn't like an intro.
Yeah, not for a hot minute. Mostly because the past couple of times it's just been like, boom, we're here. We're in the same fucking place we were yesterday. What the fuck? I hate it here. And we're finally getting somewhere, which is nice.
Which is good.
Yeah. The test is fun. I love Lady Drake. I love Lady Drake's bullshit. She's such a bitch, and I love her, and I want to give her gentle kisses.
Real.
And I think it's just so fun to create. She doesn't necessarily have a villain theme, because she's not really a villain any more than anyone else is. But
Right.
I do think, though, in this specific situation, it was fun to be like, alright, we know who the bad guy is here.
Yeah.
And her name is
Lady Drake. Overall, The Test is just one of my favorite songs in this one.
That's weird
It's
because it's
another
one of
banger.
my least favorite ones.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
That's the difference between music and production in this podcast.
Is
Is that you'll make something and be like, this is the bullshit. And I'm like,
whatever.
the fire track.
This shit's a banger. This shit's fire. Somebody put it out.
Anyway, music in this episode was a club banger. I enjoyed it. We say that every episode. I love how Music Corner is just us going like another one in the tank voice.
Yeah, it's just me going, this one was alright. And Sean's like, bangers. Bangers.
Throughout. Okay, so let's get into the next question. This is actually really weird because Keys asked me this question.
Wait, hang on.
that
Can I ask the
myself.
question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me
It's the
do
second one on
like
our
a really
list.
good character voice. Sean, you did a lot of planning for this going, and the crew took an entirely different route than you expected. How was it for you? Was there anything you planted that you didn't get to show off? Hoo-wee!
All right. That my favorite part about that is it sounds exactly like Keys.
Yeah, that's what they sound like.
Yeah, I did a lot of planning for this score. This is like one of the ones where I wanted to put a lot of moving parts into. We talked about this like a while back. And there was a whole nother like type of score that could have happened if you all wanted to go down the route of talking to the crows.
Which we did not want to do! We did not want to do that!
So
My
there's totally another
God.
option. In my head, I wanted to give like a kind of like a Dishonored style, like, play your way. You can either, go hit the house directly or go try and, get Arlen when they're not at home, which is like, less defended. And you guys were like,
Instead,
fuck that route, fuck that noise.
we ran
hate
at the
it.
same wall like 10 times, and eventually we got through.
Yeah, you guys were like, we're just gonna, so help us God, we're gonna get into this home.
God damn it.
It's so cool that I installed
like-
my new unbreakable walls. The only thing I'm missing is some Kool-Aid.
Some Kool-Aid! Sounds of repeated slamming against the wall. The only thing I need right now is an ashes. Boom, 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 boom.
No, for real.
Or like flies against a screen door. It's awful.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I just banged my head into my hand so aggressively that my headphones came off.
no.
Dylan.
We all watched it
We
too.
all watched it too. It's
I was
awful.
gonna bring it up because it's an audio medium, but now our whole
I picture
audience
it.
knows.
Picture it in your mind, if you will.
Yeah. But yeah, it just there's a whole different route that it could have gone down. Which is like it was super interesting to me. I actually went ahead and took some of the pieces from that and I sprinkled them across some other scores. Because the world goes on in my head. It happens, so much is going on. This world is so complex in my brain, but like so little of it is actually relevant.
It's so funny because Sean will be like, God damn it, I can't do that because of the world politics. And we're like, my brother in Christ, this is your game.
Speaking
Yeah,
of,
You are
you make the
spinning the
politics.
wheel.
No.
speaking of,
no, it doesn't work.
I brought this up. I brought this up to Sean just before we started recording, and I just want to bring it up to everyone here, and that is that I was listening through, and the guy that we didn't kill, but the guy that we were disappearing is named Arlen. Sean,
Yes.
Sean, come on, man.
Yes? I know.
Why did you do that?
I know.
It's too much for me. It's too much for me.
Well, one of them sounds refined and high up and noble, and the other one sounds like wet gravel in a sack.
No, they both sound
I
like
should-
shit.
I made a
they
little
both sound like
whoopsie.
stupid,
I should
dumbass
also
names.
mention that Dove's nemesis, who has not really been mentioned much, is named Roland.
So is a Roland, Arlen,
And an
Orlin.
Orlin. And only one will be alive by the end of
And
this
only one
season.
can be America's next top model.
America's next top old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that same note about like this score and the planning behind it, to ask about the security system, and I want to mention offhandedly a bit. This is actually, I think I mentioned this in the episode, then I cut that out, and I want to mention it here. It's actually a thing from history, which I think is really cool.
Sean,
Damn.
when Sean was he came to us after the session, or like a couple sessions later, and like really excited and was like, "Did you guys know that this is a real Victorian? Did you guys know this is a real used by Victorian English people to keep their houses safe?"
Damn, I can't believe Victorian people protected their houses with the ghost field.
Yeah,
Yeah,
insane.
it's kind of crazy.
Crazy that they knew
used,
about that.
Actually, it was entirely mechanical, but for this one, I wanted to make it electric so that it would be more interesting. It shows opulence if it's electric, not mechanical.
Just to kind of throw Ren a bone.
Yeah, it's to throw in a bone.
If you made it mechanical, I couldn't just say stupid stuff until something stuck.
I'm going to connect with the ghosts of this security system.
Well, okay, I was listening back to it, and at the time I
ghost
thought
of
I was
AT&T
stupid.
past.
No, but like I had the right idea somehow.
No, you did.
Which is wild, but
It came back around, and you were actually right. I think that whole scene made a lot of sense. Which is just like, yeah, you can kind of get your way to it, if you try. That aside, I do want to talk about actually Storm. Your little climb is one of my favorite moments in this like whole score. And I want to just like kind of talk about how that was for you. It was really cool to me in my head.
I mean, Storm fulfills a long fantasy that has been mine, which is being capable of doing things. Something I am not.
Which is hardcore parkour.
Hardcore
mine's
parkour,
hardcore.
of course, being namely among those. So, like, in this theater of the mind that we have,
Yes.
you know, you give me a problem, you say, well, you've already tried the first floor, you've already tried the ground entrance, that didn't work, and oh, hey, look, there's something interesting on the third floor. I go, well, obviously I have to be on the third floor.
You say, I believe these are your exact words, Dylan, you go, how far apart are the buildings in this neighborhood? Which is a crazy non sequitur into I am about to do some hardcore fucking
Okay,
parkour.
that was also definitely
It was so
influenced. That was
goofy.
also definitely influenced by, let's be honest, probably Dishonored.
How far apart are... Honestly, it was probably more Assassin's Creed Syndicate than anything
you're right,
else.
You're right, that's it. Of me just going,
Oh no, we're giving away the 2 touchstones we have for Victorian England.
Oh, no! That's it,
wasn't
really.
Sean's response something like too far apart to jump between, or like almost something along those
Yeah,
lines?
something like
they
that.
basically
You were like, haha, not enough to jump through.
and then I did.
You did anyway. You were like, fuck it, we ball. And you did in fact ball all the way up to Arlen's fucking balcony.
Personal balcony.
Which was like, one of the funniest scenes in this, which like, we're not a comedy podcast, but is when you were like, and this is the thing about like, I really wanted to make a very real feeling world, which is, you know, you climb up on the balcony, and then Arlen comes out and you like climb away, and you look at me like, okay, Sean, now this is the part where Arlen
It's time
does
to
his
reveal
little
story.
monologue to reveal his like, you know, dark history.
It's cutscene time, Sean. What the fuck are we waiting for?
And I'm like, no, I don't think he does.
I think he's just gonna leave.
I think he's just gonna stand out there and do his thing and then leave.
Whiskey and cigars tonight.
Yeah. Never doubt it. But it's one of my favorite scenes. Just like that aside, yeah. Another one of Keys' questions, not really a question, it's just kind of a comment, is they really like the chemistry in this episode. And I want to talk about it because I think this is this like section, these last 2 episodes, is when the crew actually start to talk to each other.
Yeah, we actually become a crew.
I was gonna say,
become
yeah.
people that know each other.
And it's one of my favorite things to watch, just like the interplay of the crew.
I don't know about Olivia or Dylan, but I know that around episode, like end of episode 5, start of episode 6 is really, I mean, like this kind of end of the score, like this chunk of the score is really when I started to feel my character, like for that. And I think Olivia, you probably had the most solid grasp from that get-go, but I feel like Dylan, you started feeling Storm.
Is this when the accent comes in? When does the accent come in?
The accent...
I swear to God, it's
the accent is first introduced at the start of last episode. We talked about it last Talkback.
Okay. It's coming. It's coming,
light.
boys. We promise.
It's light in this episode.
I promise it gets better.
Storm
I think
will
it's
have
yeah,
a
I
New
think it's
York
better.
accent.
And by that, I definitely mean worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, we're talking to each other, we're planning stuff. I think that at least in the first score, like, or at least at the beginning, you know, things were going so well when we were individually doing things that we didn't need to talk to each other. There's a part, this is genuinely one of my favorite scenes in cinema, which is so stupid. It's in Big Hero 6, when, like, they all try to fight the bad guy, and, like, they just got their powers, but, like, they're all doing it on their own, so they're, like, fucking each other up, like, nearly explicitly. Like, each of them are, like, doing their powers at different times, and, like, one of them trips on the other's powers. Like, I feel like that's where we were for a second. We were, like, fully in the, like, it was like, oh, what are you gonna do, Orland? Dress up as a fucking beggar and walk around the streets? Fuck you. But then, like, again, one thing goes right, and we're like, let's fucking go! We're so fucking back! And then
we're so fucking back.
And then we were just like, yeah! And it worked!
Yeah.
So far.
That's my hard fave about this one. Okay.
I think we all just got
So,
so excited that we were back. Like,
yeah.
That we, like, didn't have to be like, listen, Lady Drake, we're so sorry, can you give us maybe a little bit of money? No, we're fucking bawling. We don't need her. We need her a little bit.
We need her a lot.
This entire actual score is because you need her so badly.
I forgot just how much I hate Lady Drake
God,
until I re-listened to this episode.
Yeah?
I wasn't kidding when I said...
She's very hot, but...
Can we get a round table on our thoughts on Lady Drake?
A cunt.
You know...
Am I allowed to say that on the podcast? She's a cunt.
Okay, you know that, like, people will talk about, I'm sorry for bringing this onto Maine. This isn't even Maine, that's fine. You know that thing where people will talk about the people, like the person who played Umbridge in Harry Potter. I don't remember the actress's name.
Imelda Staunton is
Thank you. And there are people who, like, first knew her from Harry Potter. Or the same thing goes for Alan Rickman and stuff. Will be like, oh yeah, I kind of fucking hate them, just because they, like, played their role very well, right? Mm-hmm. I hate Sean. I, like, got mad at Sean while listening to this episode. Like, actually.
I want to punch her.
So real. I want to punch Sean. So he's so mean to us all the fucking time.
I got mad at Sean
true.
for a lot of things this episode, namely when he would make me do things.
He didn't make you come up with any names this time, did he?
No,
That's
it
true.
was better. But, like,
a new punishment.
I was just sitting there listening to this, and I was just hearing, like, Lady Drake, but Sean, and I went, fucking hate this kid.
Fucking hate Sean.
Fuck this guy.
And we hope you hate him too.
Lady Drake needs someone to punch her, because no one ever has.
But it can't be us, because we need her.
Maybe I don't know, maybe we just convince somebody.
All of that aside, this score leading into the next one, in the moment, if you want to pinpoint it down in the moment, how did you guys feel when in that lead up to the score going on? Like, I know that you guys felt terrible before after I rolled the dice, but in the description of the engagement roll, what was the emotions?
I would probably say throwing up, crying, shitting, falling on the floor. Here's the thing. This score, as we got further in the episode, Dove became less and less necessary. So I really didn't have any skin in the game, except that these are my two little Blorbos, and if they die, it's so fucking over.
Real.
The downsides of having a smaller gang is that it's much easier for the entire gang to be killed, but it doesn't take away this thing of having a second gang get killed.
Yeah. Cause of death is not massacre, it's 2 stories.
Ren, how did you feel about Orlin scaling up this big ass building?
I felt really bad, and then you said we could start the score up top, and I felt really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was mainly, like, I think there are a few cuts of me just kind of screeching into the microphone, which I'm sure is great for listeners, of,
Wait, is that what it... Can I talk... Sean, can I talk about how I genuinely...
Yes, please,
okay,
please.
So near the end of... I was doing this while I was working on music, so sorry, foray into the music corner, I guess, again, 1-2 into the music corner. I was listening to the end, and while Sean is rolling the dice for the engagement roll, somebody goes like, or like, it literally sounds like that, and I was like, Sean, do you know who this is? Because I can't tell if it's Dylan or if it's me.
I'm assuming
like,
it was me. I'm assuming
we
it was
have
me.
extremely similar voices and extremely similar vocal patterns, which we have said ad nauseum, but like, usually, you know, like, I am able to tell when it's me and when it's Dylan. I couldn't.
I couldn't tell, but I did assume it was me because, like, it seems right.
You remember making those noises.
That seems like something that comes from my soul.
It was certainly interesting.
I was saying something before that. I don't remember what, though.
Also, as I mentioned, the bird at the end of it, I feel like I threw that in last second in my head. I think that was a mixed success on the engagement, I want to say. I don't remember.
That sounds right.
Yeah, because I wanted things to go really well, but then I wanted to throw something new at you.
Bitch,
I think
Sean was going to put a fucking dog. Sean was going to put a fucking dog.
I had it in my head. It's another research thing, actually.
Burb.
Victorians used to have...
you said it was a part of the security system.
Yeah.
Canary in the mine shaft.
Victorians used to have, like, dogs and birds, like the ancient Romans, as security, but also as just exotic pets.
Little guys, friends.
Yeah, time is a flat circle. But it was kind of crazy, and I was like, oh, I want to put a dog in here, because
that would be fucking crazy and evil.
But I instead put a bird in there. And I thought that was really fun.
Sean is so mean to us all the time.
Speaking of being mean, I'm going to be mean to you, listener, and end this talkback. Thank you for listening to our episode 5 talkback.
Can you hang on? Can you do that? Can you say that again? Can you get that again? Speaking of being mean, can you get it again?
Wait.
Hit it again.
Okay. Speaking of being mean, thank you. No.
See,
I already said it one time.
See, you couldn't do it again. I was gonna boo you, and I was gonna make you hear yourself again to see how stupid that was in your brain. You can't say it again.
I can't say it again.
A one and done that only true idiocy can accomplish. Salute.
Yeah.
Salute our Raven.
Salute me. Talk shit, get hit. Goodbye. Good night, everybody.